All right, guys. Well, here we have some new loads, kind of continuing on the saga of this AR15, going back to baseline here. So 68 grain boat tail hollow points. As I mentioned in the last video, I saw the accuracy kind of drop off when I switched over to Starline brass. So I have 5 shots of 24 grains of agate, 5 shots of 24 and a half with the Hornady, and then the same thing with Starline. So one thing to kind of look at here in terms of the volume, you can see both bullets have a ring around them from the seating stem, but the Starline is really pronounced. I mean, that's basically a dent in the jacket because the force required to seat that thing is much more than with the Hornady. So I thought that was interesting. So another way of kind of looking at this is I have 2 pieces of brass here, one's Starline and one's Hornady. They've both been resized, neck tensioned, everything's exactly the same as far as external dimensions. So take a look at the weight difference here. So Hornady is on there now, zero that out. The Starline, 11.94 grains heavier. So what that tells me is the external dimensions are exactly the same. The internal dimensions are not. So it must be the wall thickness is thicker on the Starline. So anyways, I'm going to head to the range, shoot these guys, and see how we make out. Hopefully accuracy comes back. Stay tuned. All right, so back from the range here. And again, here's the 2 cards with 24 grains of agate. This is the Hornady card, a Hornady brass and Starline brass, 24 grains. And then again, Hornady and Starline, 24.5. So this thing, I guess I'll just review the groups here. It's a 1.27, a 1.7, a 1.35, and a 2.18. Again, there's nothing, this is not repeating, I would say, what I had before. So actually the average velocities pretty much came in where they were all along, right around 26.5 to 27, 20 sort of thing. Stream spreads weren't terrible. 43 feet per second on extreme spread, 30 on the Starline, and then 21 for both of the Hornadies. So, I mean, I don't know. This group was pretty good. I thought this was going to be a winner. I didn't think I pulled this, but, this ended up happening here, which flyers, I don't want to bother with anything that's going to have a bunch of flyers with it. This little inside group right here is a 0.43. That would have been a nice one to keep alive. So I guess this is pretty inconclusive in terms of there's a difference, with the brass. I don't see anything that's like brutally obvious here about, Starline being a worse performer than the Hornady brass. So I don't think it's coming down to the brass. I will say this compressed load stuff, I don't like it, so I need to get away from that. Leaving marks on the bullets, it's not helping. I don't think at 100 yards that necessarily is showing up, but you know, at greater distances it might. So, but that's the range report. So just to kind of review, here's all the bullets that I put through this thing so far. I got 50 grain nozzlers. I got some 55 grain VMAXs, 60 grain nozzlers. These guys were terrible in this gun. 73 grain ELDs and the 68 grain boat tail hollow points. And I would say at this point, this gun really doesn't like any of them. It really doesn't. And that is got me, you know, concerned because honestly, if this thing's not going to shoot at least under an inch at 100 yards, then it has no use to me. So I think you know, this last range trip to the range pretty much proved that it's not the brass, it's something else. So I'm going to, I guess the next step here is I'll spend a little time tearing this upper down. I want to inspect the barrel, and like I mentioned in the previous video, kind of check out the upper receiver joint where the barrel nut is. So check that out, see if there's something loose. I don't know. I'm just going to investigate that a little bit, and then ultimately I think I'm going to rebarrel this thing. So I have been shopping around for new barrels, which, you know, nothing against Palmetto State Armory. I love that place. I think what they're doing is great. It's a great affordable way to get pretty decent firearms. And that's the other point of going in with a baseline or base model type thing, right? You can upgrade it. I've already changed out the trigger in that thing. I've had a couple scopes on it. You know, so you can change out the components. And to me, I mean, I like to run 220 Swifts, 243s. You know, a lot of these rifles that I tend to gravitate towards are considered barrel burners anyways. I don't really care. I mean, I'll swap out a barrel like I swap out a set of tires. That's just the way it is. So I think we're going to rebarrel this guy, but I'm going to do a little investigating and I'll keep you guys in the loop. Thanks for watching. I don't, you know, sorry this isn't conclusive yet. This is an ongoing thing. I think what I'm going to do though is I'm going to step away from this AR15, get back into some 243, and I've got some videos planned with that, both the long range kind of bull barrel, and that if you've been watching the videos, that my deer rifle that it struggled with those 90 grain game changers. I'm going to do some more reloading for that thing. So stay tuned for videos coming up. It should be pretty fun. All right, thanks.